Yes, sir.
Hello and welcome to TC Sports. My name is Jacob Butzine alongside Aaron Klinker, Andrew Schultz, and a guest, our first guest on TC Sports, Jeff Kemp, joining in from us. Boys, how we doing?
I am sick and
Okay. I'm feeling better.
Aaron just got done having strep. Andrew got something from the cold weather, and Jeff and I are all right, it seems like. So
This is just what happens when you go to a Michigan game.
what happens when you're forced to watch 4 quarters of Nebraska football?
I mean, you
That'll
know what?
do it
No
too.
wonder that lady threw up behind us.
Yeah, so a lady threw up right behind us at the game, and we all were like, what's that smell? Turn around, and there's just, it's everywhere. It's gross.
It's probably that combination of blue and maize.
I mean,
Yeah, or just awful football of the fourth string quarterback in Nebraska.
Yeah, that'll do it.
that was
So,
brutal.
alrighty, well, no point in waiting along. Let's get started with hot takes. So we're going to start with hot takes from Aaron Klinker to start out. Aaron, give us your hot take for this week's episode.
So, this goes out to a very special fan base. You know who you are. You are one of the worst fan bases in the NFL. I don't care. I'll come after me, please. I beg you. The Eagles are just like the 2020 Steelers. They start off undefeated, they lose to the Commanders, and well, we know what happens after that. So the Eagles are going to end up like the 2020 Steelers.
Say that one more time.
Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to turn into the 2020 Steelers.
Wrong.
That's why it's a hot take.
It's boiling. It's about to boil over. Hey, listen. I'm not gonna say that the Eagles. So the Eagles didn't play well on Monday, but the game plan by the Commanders was simply don't give the offense or don't put Philadelphia's offense on the field because they will score. That's pretty much what they did.
Exactly. It was keep the Eagles off the field, or at least their offense. Pound the rock down their throats, which clearly was working, although the Eagles didn't have Jordan Davis to help stop the run. So there was also that. But my thing is, like, yeah, you beat Detroit, you smacked around Minnesota on Monday night, you beat Houston, Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, you beat all these, with the exception of Minnesota, sub 500 teams, no offense to the Lions, and then you were supposed to do that against the Commanders, but you didn't. So my question is, what's going on?
Thoughts? Anyone else?
I mean, it's the NFL. Anything can happen on a week-to-week basis. So, I wouldn't think too closely about it. So,
I have two different thoughts. Commanders had what, over like 40 minutes of control of the ball?
Roughly, yeah, time of possession, something like that.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. If you have over 40 minutes of possession time, you're 99% of the time you're going to win.
I know.
I mean, that's just basically how the game works. And also, this entire year, I don't care who you are. Anybody can beat anybody. You got like Buffalo, Kansas City, and like 2 other teams. And then everybody else is like within like 2 or 3 games of each other. So
That's why the Lions are back in it.
that's a stretch.
Get used to it. These two are Lions fans.
we are running the table.
Yeah, y'all can run the table except with Minnesota. That's all I
I'm
ask.
a
I'm pretty sure you still got one more with Minnesota. So
Now that game's going to be in Detroit, and Detroit is, well, I'm not going to say it's a tough place to win, but
It is a tough place to win.
It's not a place you want to go to play a football game. Let's
Ford
just say
Field.
that.
The Eagles only beat us by 3 points. I'll just say that. So
All right.
It was week 1 though.
still,
And the Lions also have been pretty banged up recently, so who knows?
Banged up or getting banged? There's a difference.
no, we're banging.
Yes.
Right,
They,
right.
they were getting banged. Now they're doing the banging.
We're pitching, not catching.
You guys
Oh,
are
dear.
givers, not takers.
Jeez. Well, does anybody have anything else to add about that?
Not
Boy.
that one. No.
All right.
NFL, anything.
Moving on.
All right.
Andrew. Actually, you're this way on my screen. Andrew.
Justin Jefferson is without a doubt the number 1 wide receiver in the league.
Say it with your chest. Sorry, I'm sorry. That was my crazy.
He
fan
is now the conversation for wide receivers is now, besides Justin Jefferson, who's the top 5. That's where I would rank Justin Jefferson as a wide receiver.
Is number what? Number 1? Or what'd you
Number
top
0.
five?
He's like,
Top two,
Oh.
me too.
rank your
That's
top
what I'm
5 wide receivers besides Justin Jefferson. So you just take him out because he's number 1. That's what I mean by that.
Diggs
Oh,
would
I'll-
have to be number 2.
Diggs, I think, is 2. But Jefferson, without a doubt, is the number 1 wide receiver.
It's a
Do they have to be healthy?
Yes.
If we're talking, yeah, if we're talking like top 5, then definitely one healthy would have to be like the,
well, so I'm not disagreeing with that because I mean, dude's catch might, and I don't say this often, but dude's catch might have been better. Actually, I think is better.
it was
OBJ's.
it was better than the OBJ. The dude literally went up as the Bills corner, whatever his sorry ass name is, and literally snatched it from his hands. He said, "Nope, that's mine." And then as he was coming down, it's like this man was palming the ball. Like he had complete control.
He ripped
was
it away
like-
from the defender, too.
Literally, like
It wasn't
like,
and no flags. It was contested, ripped it away from the defender as he's falling down, keeps it off the ground, maintains possession on a 4th and 18, no less, with Kirk Cousins throwing him the ball.
Okay, yes, and yes, Kirk was throwing him the ball. However, if you are a top receiver, you got no matter who your quarterback is, you got to come down with the ball, and that's what Justin Jefferson did.
But so Diggs, Jefferson, Dog. I want to bring this specific one name up because I think that going from this quarterback to now his new quarterback, I still think he's consistent on quarterback, even if his new quarterback is awful. That person being Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Jefferson,
I think he could also have a case for number 1 as the season goes on.
not anymore. Justin
I have-
Jefferson
I have
is
no
going up
faith in his
against
quarterback.
The entire defense.
Honestly, I'd say, yeah, Derek Carr's not the best, but like that, we all know that team's main issue.
I mean, Kirk is better than Derek Carr, so I don't know.
That.
It also depends on what you're ranking on. If you're ranking it on yards, strictly yards, well,
Tyreek Hill.
Kirk is Tyreek Hill. Absolutely.
Tyreek Hill, yeah, but he's played one more game than Diggs and Jefferson, and he's only 100 yards up. So,
Well,
Their bye week is this week, ain't it?
Yeah.
I think
Well,
so.
here, okay, hold on. Here's the thing about Tyreek Hill, though. I think just about every single game he has played this year, with the exception of against Cleveland, and he still played pretty well. He didn't have 100 receiving yards, but my point being, he has had 100 receiving yards through the first 9 or 10 games. Well, okay, I guess 9 games, but like that doesn't happen often, So I would definitely put Tyreek Hill in my top 3.
Okay. All right. I mean, okay. All right. I'm not disagreeing. I just was bringing his name up just because, his name could be brought up and go from there. So, all right. Our first guest is going to bring up his hot take of this week.
All right. This one is going actually towards the college route. And I At the time I wrote it down, it was probably a hot take. Probably not so much anymore because of the way the rankings worked out. But Utah was going to win the Pac-12. They're gonna beat Oregon. They're gonna play either UCLA or USC in the championship game, and they are going to run the table and win the Pac-12.
Yeah,
Let's
that.
see
I like
here,
it.
shall we?
The cash
Pac-12, USC. Well, USC technically has a game up on them, but that's because they still have to play Notre Dame, so
Mhm.
that's not a conference game.
Oh,
So we'll just say they're tied with Oregon and Utah. Utah only has one loss in the Pac-12
It was UCLA.
against UCLA, who has 2 losses. UCLA plays USC. I think if Utah can get past Oregon, which didn't they do that twice last year?
Yep.
Or was that the opposite? Oregon beat Utah. I think Utah beat Oregon. I don't.
Pretty sure Utah beat Oregon.
Utah dog walked Oregon twice last year.
Literally.
Oregon was also a different team last year.
So if Utah beats Oregon this week, they're pretty much they just got to win out and they're in the championship game, and then they would play. I don't even know how that would work out because I don't know. I could see them winning out. I mean, they got a good team when they're on. When they're off, I don't know where they came from. But what do you think? What do y'all think?
Knowing the Pac-12, Arizona's going to win it. So
Not at 2-5. Not at 2-5.
Honestly, I could see Utah running the table. Like, that's not out of the realm of possibility because after watching how Oregon played last week, I mean, they're still a good team, but they're very much beatable. They're not this, other world class team up there with like, the Michigans and Ohio State and Georgias of the world. Like
yeah, you
they
put
can
Michigan first, like a good little boy.
no,
So
like what
I while I can see that happening, I'm really thinking that Washington can make a path to the Pac-12 championship game. I mean, they have 2 losses, but they only need to get to the number 2 spot, and they've already beat Oregon. So if Oregon loses this week, and then UCLA beats USC, things could get to it. But Washington is 1, 2, 3. They're 5th on the list. They're behind UCLA.
They would need UCLA to lose. And yeah, they would need UCLA to lose because that's who their loss is to. So they would need Utah to win out and UCLA to lose a game.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, I don't think Washington has a path.
They might not because they have 2 losses in conference.
Yeah, and they don't play USC. So yeah, they don't have a path unless
chaos.
unless Oregon somehow loses to Oregon State and beats Utah.
It could happen.
That's what they would have to have USC beat UCLA. They would have to win out, and then they would have to have Oregon beat Utah and then lose to Oregon State.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens, but I think Utah could win the Pac-12, and that's just going to unfortunately ruin their chances. If only Utah took care of business against Florida week 1, then they'd be in the conversation. But dang, the Pac-12 is the Pac-12 good this year? Or are they just like?
No, they do this every year.
I'd say it's competitive.
I'll say it's different every year.
Mhm.
I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4,
They're
5,
like the Big
6 ranked
12.
teams.
They're like the Big 12, where it's just like the scaling between the top and the bottom isn't that large. Whereas, like, you have the Big 10, you have your top 2, then you have Penn State, then you have the Big 10 East, the Big 10 West, and then Michigan State is way down there.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
all right. Well,
Here's another question for you. If Utah wins the Pac-12, are they going to let a 2-loss team in?
not from the Pac-12.
Probably not from
Not Utah.
I don't-
They would beat Florida.
That's tough.
If they would have beat Florida, then yes.
Well, yeah,
But
that'd be.
if they lost to Florida, no.
But they are number 10. So they would go and beat number 12 Oregon at Oregon, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's at Oregon.
Yeah.
So you could go from 10 to maybe 8. And then you beat whoever. Let's see who they have left. Let's just see hypothetically who they have left.
They
So
would
they have.
They would need some chaos as well.
Oh,
So
they play Colorado. They play Colorado at the end of the year.
if
So
Utah were to get in,
Red alert.
I feel like this would have to happen. They would have to have Georgia destroy LSU in the SEC championship. They would have to have TCU lose to Baylor this week and then lose the Big 12 championship. They would have to have Tennessee lose to South Carolina, and then they would have to have Clemson lose to North Carolina in the ACC championship game. That's the only way I see Utah getting in.
So you're saying there's a chance.
there's a chance if
It happens.
this happens.
It would have to be
College
chaos.
football season has taught me that anything can happen. Although we're starting to kind of be on the home stretch here, so
You're dang right. Anything can happen. A&M can go from 6th ranked team in the country to 3-7. That's what can happen.
Kansas can
Right.
go from being the team they've been for the past like 15 years to a respectable bowl eligible team. So,
Kansas has a football team.
well, I mean, defending champs in basketball, but
Oh dear God! All right.
we're not
So
here to
what-
talk.
So what end of my take? I think this year is the last year that Georgia will be a powerhouse in the SEC. Meaning they won't be in the top 4. You know how a couple years ago they weren't really in the top 4. They weren't in a contention. They have 2 losses. This is their last year that they're going to end up in the playoff, under the 14 playoff.
Possibly.
Oh,
Here's why.
Georgia's a
Tennessee's
dynasty now.
Tennessee's going to take over.
Not a chance.
Alabama's going to be back next year. I already know it.
Now
Have you
this is
seen- Look at the difference in recruiting for Georgia and Tennessee.
doesn't matter. Michigan's recruiting is worse than the others, and we still compete.
Kirby and Muschamp have a dynasty over there right now. As long as Muschamp and Kirby are there, Georgia's a dynasty.
Muschamp's leaving. He's going to Auburn.
No,
If
he's-
Lane Kiffin doesn't go to Auburn,
Muschamp won't go.
Lane Kiffin's not.
I guarantee it. He's leaving. He's gone. He's out this year. I guarantee it.
You gonna
Hmm.
bet on that? Like you bet on Liberty to hold that 18-point lead or whatever?
All I need to win $400 is Liberty to just win by 14. And what do? They blow it and only win by 2. Assholes. Yeah.
God forbid they don't play to your bet.
Yeah, funny. So that's what I think. I think from now on, Tennessee and LSU are going to run that conference.
I hate to say it, but until I see the actual downfall of Alabama, they're always gonna be in that conversation. Not this year, but
Bama
Yeah.
ends this year at ranked number 15. The way too early top 25. Bama, number 1 team in the country. Okay.
you know what I mean.
Patrick
though, right?
Mahomes once said, "I'll see it when I believe it."
I could have said Vandy's going to run the conference, but that would be unreasonable.
No, that'd be a scorching hot take.
Maybe in baseball.
That's
Well,
a hot take, like as with the heat, with like the temperature of a nuclear bomb.
Have you been near one before?
I live in Ohio. What do you think?
So, anything to add to my hot take?
No, but you
Before-
should probably go check yourself into a mental asylum.
Moving on. All righty. We had the next installment of the college football playoff rankings. And before we go to that, I just want TC Sports wants to extend their condolences to the families from the Virginia football players. Definitely a tragedy, and we want to just extend our condolences to that. Sad times. Again, sometimes life is bigger than sports, and this sucks. So just wanted to extend that. So All right, so the playoff rankings, top 5 stayed the same, nothing moved, but the new number 6 team goes to the LSU Tigers. So again, let's go around and each just give one thing, or just give your description of how you feel about this ranking. We'll start with Andrew. What did you? Well, I already know what you disliked about it, but let's just hear it.
I think they got 1 through 5 right. I don't think there's anything. I think USC is better than LSU. Again, I don't think Bama's all that good, so I don't think their win over Bama is all that great because we saw Bama nearly lose to TAMU, and they also what was the other game they struggled with? There was another one of those early games. I can't remember. And Tennessee absolutely obliterated LSU at LSU. So it's like there's definitely a big gap there. USC definitely has to win at UCLA. Bama and Clemson, I think both of those should actually be below Utah, I think. I think Utah is better than both of those teams, especially when they're on. Clemson hasn't proved to be the Clemson of old, and Bama, I mean, yeah, they beat Ole Miss, but it was really just one like kind of series that they kind of stopped Ole Miss on. Ole Miss almost drove down the field and scored the game-winning touchdown there at the end. I don't know why Notre Dame is ranked any higher than 25. You lose to Marshall at home and Stanford. That is pretty ridiculous.
Atrocious, as one would say.
I don't know why NC State is ranked either. They just lost to Boston College, who lost to Liberty, who lost to UConn. So there's that. I'm fine with Cincinnati being ranked. I think Liberty still should be ranked. I think they're still better than their record shows. I mean, they haven't played. I mean, they beat Arkansas, and Arkansas held the number 6 LSU Tigers to 13 points. So that's still a quality win for Liberty. And I think Coastal Carolina should also be ranked, but that's besides the point. But that's how I felt. I think this committee has a bit of an ACC bias.
Oh, you think?
And
Sure.
we know how I feel about ACC football. So it's kind of like Jim Boeheim's basketball team.
All right, Jeff, what do you think about this set of rankings that came out?
All right, USC definitely needs to be ahead of LSU. Honestly, think LSU would. They might put up a fight, but they're not going to be USC. I think Utah should be above Clemson because Clemson couldn't even beat Notre Dame, who I agree should not even be in the top 25. Last time Marshall was good, Matthew McConaughey was their coach.
All right.
They only won like 2 games in that season.
And
Yeah.
granted, there was no change in the top 4. But if there was a change, there's only one thing I would do, and this is going to sound biased, but I would put TCU above Michigan just because of conference rankings.
I don't disagree. I think honestly, to be honest,
I would have Georgia, Ohio State, and then swap TCU and Michigan.
To be honest, if the committee did it strictly on resume, TCU should be the number 2 team in the country if you're basing it just on resume, because the teams that they have beat are better. Again, I'm not saying that Ohio State and Michigan aren't better teams than TCU, because that's clearly how the rankings are showing out. But if you do a strict on resume, that's how it is. I mean, I have these like unbiased rankings and strictly resume based, and it's Georgia, TCU, and then Ohio State and Michigan or whatever is their list. Actually, I think Michigan's at 5. So I don't disagree. Now I just got something that, so this account does they do fake lines on what Vegas puts in as the lines, and they said that Clemson would be favored by 1.5 against USC on a neutral site. That's what Vegas would put as the line for that game. So
I mean, USC's defense is their problem, but I think I would bet on USC to win that game.
here's the thing. If you're looking at these rankings and you rank them strictly based off who would win on a neutral site, I don't disagree with the top 4 and how they're ranked based on if we were to play in a neutral site, if we all were to go play in Atlanta.
No, that's a Georgia home game.
I'm about to say, yeah, that'd basically
right.
be Georgia
They'll
home
put it
game.
in Omaha, Nebraska. That is as neutral as it gets.
Okay.
Yeah,
Neutral site in
do it,
Omaha,
do it.
Nebraska. 72 degrees with air conditioning blowing. The top 4 is probably how that would go. Is Georgia would smoke everyone. I still think Georgia's going to smoke everyone. So, and I think LSU would beat USC on a neutral site.
Yeah.
I think a lot of teams would beat LSU on a neutral site.
No, LSU would beat
Bama,
USC.
I think Bama would have beaten LSU if it was in Bama or on a neutral site.
I agree, 100%. But I guess that's why you play the games, right?
Gotta play what's in front of you.
So, all right. Aaron, I think is next.
I was gonna say I haven't quite gone yet. So, a couple things here. I think Andrew, I know how you feel about ACC football, but I personally think UNC should be above a couple of these teams. I'm not saying in the top 7 or the top 8, but I'm saying put them in the top 10.
No, I can't. I can't wrap my head around that.
Blink, what is North Carolina's best win in your opinion?
You know, this may have just been because of how I saw them play.
Appalachian State by 2.
You know, can I retract that statement? Because
No.
I'm a dumbass. I apologize to the viewers.
Miami by 3?
You know, I hate to say it, but yeah, that would be their best win.
Pitt by
Getting
18?
throttled by Notre Dame.
Okay. Well,
Virginia by 3? Wake Forest by 2?
maybe I just want to see Alabama out of the top 10. I think that's what
Duke by 3 points? Kansas beat Duke
right,
by more than
all right.
3 points.
Everybody wants to see Alabama out of the top 10.
Come on. Am I so wrong for wanting the downfall of Alabama?
If
Is that so
anything,
wrong?
I can see Penn State being higher than those teams, but that's it. And Penn State got throttled to the two of the top 3 teams in the country.
I just want Alabama and Clemson out of the top 10.
However, I would say if North Carolina wins out, they have a case for the top 4, but a very, very slim case.
Everything
also-
I said
hey.
for Utah to get in has to happen for North Carolina.
Okay, that was also going to be my next point. If UNC wins out and a few other things happen, then yeah, they have a case for, I'd say maybe.
I would
don't know
still
about the top
take
4.
the 1-loss Big Ten East runner-up over UNC.
What do you mean? Things like hell freezing over?
Hey,
that the only
depending
way
on
to
the mythology you go to,
Yeah,
hell
why
is
do I bother?
already
Why do I
frozen.
bother?
So
All right. Well,
Now, here's a food for thought. Hypothetically, Georgia going into Lexington, snowing,
this is another free point.
cold, not the way they play. It's gonna be snowing. It's gonna
Oh,
be
wait,
awful
they're playing
weather.
at. Oh, wait a minute. They're playing at Kentucky, aren't they?
What
you think
happens?
Georgia cares about the weather? Do you see this Georgia team? They do not care. They're as tough as they come.
But they've never played. This team has never
They
played in
play
that kind of weather.
football. They've been around for a long time.
I
Not-
don't think Georgia cares too much.
Not to be whatever, but like Ohio State
Honestly,
struggled in the
it
weather.
does snow in Georgia.
Georgia can struggle in the weather. Michigan can
The way
struggle.
their
in the weather.
offense is and the way their defense is, they're not built. They can run the ball down your throat if they want to.
But Georgia can choose that if they want to, but I don't even really know if you can say that Georgia has a better run attack than they do a pass attack. And they don't pass the ball.
Because they do it. Their main attack is the play action. That's what they do really well, is those PA bootlegs. and then they give it to Brock Bowers on short 5 to 10 yard routes, and he just kind of takes it the distance.
I don't know. You can't sit here and tell me that Kentucky doesn't have a chance. I don't care.
The team that just lost to fucking Vanderbilt.
I really don't care. That's gonna be weather. I'm telling you, the weather is gonna be a factor. All right.
Put this kid on some medication.
I don't really disagree with anything that the top 25. Honestly, I figured there wasn't enough chaos to where I felt like anything had to matter. Again, realistically, or at this point, 15 through 25 at this point in the ranks don't matter in regards to the playoff race that everyone's pushing for. So I don't really have anything. Does anyone?
12 teams?
If there was 12 teams, we'd be sitting here talking about it for days.
Klatt said there's 33 teams or something like that could make a run out of 12 if there was a 12-team playoffs, because there's the conference champions, the six best automatically get bids. So like in the Big 12, you have 6 teams that can still make the Big 12 championship, and then you have 5 out of the Big 10 West, and then
Well, we'll see. Joel Klatt said it. This expansion is going to be great for college football, and I agree.
I think 12 is too many, but
well, you know what? That's why you're not on the committee.
No, if I was on the committee, Clemson wouldn't be in the top 15.
Andrew, if it was up to you, you'd go back to the BCS system.
I didn't mind the BCS system. It was just that it was only 2 teams. I think 8's the perfect amount. And you don't give conference champions an automatic bid. You take it into consideration.
Well, BCS actually takes into fact of who you play and how good they do. So, which is solid.
I don't know. I like the playoff system. They still got to make some tweaks to it.
I don't know why they just said, let's just do 4 teams. I don't know why they just go straight to 8 teams. It just makes no sense, but.
Knowing the playoff committee, they will find some way to get Alabama in there.
Oh, they'll work some black magic.
12 teams,
Oh, yeah.
sure.
It'll
They have
happen.
voodoo dolls or some shit. I don't know what's going on.
If it's a 12-team playoff, I would take Bama as like the 10 or the 11 or whatever, because Saban's gonna have his team ready to go if it comes to playoff and neutral sites and all that. So, but I mean, if Saban and his boys have to go up to like Columbus or Ann Arbor in November, God help anybody, or December, I should say.
That's what I'm saying about Georgia, Kentucky.
Like, imagine if Wisconsin was the 5th ranked Power 5 champion. Like, let's say there was a 2-loss Wisconsin or whatever. So they get home field advantage. And imagine like Bama having to go play in Wisconsin in late December. Like, that's the 12-team playoff format. Wisconsin would have a home playoff game in December. You don't want to play. Everybody hates playing in Lambeau in December. So.
Not the 49ers.
Well, that's because you're playing in 3 feet of snow.
Right. So imagine a game in Madison, late December for Saban and his team, who can't even win in LSU.
I mean, Brian Kelly did say, "I'm going for the win." So I
don't blame him. I would have done the same thing.
They would have lost in the next overtime. So
yeah.
I don't think it would have mattered. So, all right. So that's the rankings for this week. Let's move on to, we'll try to get maybe 2 games in, probably 1. We'll see. So the first game we're going to talk about is, I just brought up to a point, Georgia, the number 1 team in the country, heads to the previous loss to Vanderbilt, Kentucky Wildcats. Georgia's given a 93% chance to win, according to UK 7%. Georgia is favored by 22.5 in Lexington, Kentucky at Kroger Field.
Don't invoke him.
What do we think? We'll start with Aaron.
I'm interested to see how Georgia plays in the cold. I have not seen that because they play, down south. So I hope Kentucky comes out with some fight. I hope they're pissed off after losing to Vanderbilt. I'd be pissed off. I'd be pulling everyone's scholarships and be putting a team of high schoolers out there because they showed more fight against Vanderbilt than Kentucky did.
Be like Mike Leach taking down the chairs.
Jacob,
No,
what are you
that's-
talking about? Snow on Saturday in Kentucky.
Well, it wasn't supposed to snow today.
I just said the cold.
it
Okay,
snowed
I
like
didn't
3
say
inches.
snow.
It's gonna be 38
So cold.
with
Doesn't mean it
15
can't snow.
with 15 mile per. There's a 2% chance of precipitation.
Yeah, you be quiet.
My
It's
point
only
being,
snowing up here. Okay, it's not snowing down there.
all right. My point being, I'm gonna see how Georgia plays in the cold. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you still taking Georgia to win though?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Jeff,
I'm taking Georgia. But I will say, if for some reason it does snow and it completely throws off Georgia, I could see Kentucky upsetting Georgia.
So
But-
if Jeff gets more picks right this week, does he replace you on the podcast? Is that what we're doing now? It's like the Nathaniel Hackett or Josh McDaniels and replacing him with ESPN analyst.
nah, he'll just take my cut of the week of our profit.
Yeah, the negative $0 we make.
Yes. All right, Andrew.
Georgia, and Georgia's gonna cover.
Will not be shocked.
Georgia
I definitely have
42
them
to
covering.
13.
Will not surprise me.
Not so fast, my friend.
Oh my! That
Geor-
freaking
No,
horse.
let me finish. Let me finish. Georgia will not cover.
Oh.
Kentucky will cover at 22.5, but they will lose this game. Georgia is elite. Georgia's making the playoffs. Georgia's gonna beat whoever they play first in the playoffs, unless it's Tennessee. I think Tennessee would put up a fight, but Kentucky covers. I'm putting $10 on it. I wonder what that payout's gonna be.
Negative $10.
All right, we had something happen, and now I'm gone. So
I'm gonna
Um,
just take a picture and just slap it over your thing the whole time.
so
The
Do
worst
it.
possible picture, that 8th grade picture of you in the cast. That's what I'm gonna use.
so Zoom has put me in jail. That's why.
Or at least you could change your profile picture and then hit the stop video, and then at least you'd have an icon.
All right. Well, I'll work on something. So, anyways, who hasn't talked about this game yet?
You. Oh wait, no, we just finished UGA, so
Okay. So we good.
yeah.
All right. So let's move on. Let's move on to Tennessee, South Carolina. We'll start with Andrew.
This could be potential upset, just because of South Carolina and just kind of the nature of the game, where it's at South Carolina for one, so it's a road game, and road games are always tough, no matter who you're playing, for the most part. South Carolina only has a 10.7% chance to win, and the spread is 21.5 in Tennessee's favor. South Carolina has a high explosive offensive game, like they kind of did against Arkansas, for at least when Arkansas wasn't playing defense. But they just kind of lost 38-6 to Florida. So I don't know how that's gonna go over well with Beamer. But I think Tennessee does win, and they'll probably double the spread, knowing Tennessee. But it could be an upset, but I'm still taking Tennessee to win.
Jeff? We can't hear you.
All the problems.
Never mind. Let's try this again.
Okay, there we go.
All right. I'm giving South Carolina absolutely no shot. I have Tennessee going and absolutely wiping the floor with them, winning 48-14.
Ooh, covering.
By a lot. I have them up plus 34.
Well, I mean, I
And I would take that bet.
Yeah.
well, I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, Tennessee's a good team. That Jalen Hyatt, I don't know why people keep just going him one-on-one. Like, you're dumb. Like, you cannot leave him one-on-one with someone. He will eat you up. So all right, Aaron.
Yep. Give me the Volunteers. They're gonna voluntarily beat the crap out of South Carolina. It's yeah.
I'm gonna give Jeff a good old not so fast. South Carolina's gonna cover. Tennessee's gonna win, but South Carolina's gonna cover.
You gonna bet another $10 on that?
Sure am.
So now you're out $20.
And you know what? If I am wrong on both of those, I will come back here, look our fans of TC Sports in the face.
All 4 of them.
All 4 of them. Thing is, they won't be able to see me at this moment, but
You'll be
Picks like this is the reason your face isn't being shown.
don't put me in jail on my bad picks. But again, I do have Tennessee winning this game. Anything else to add about that?
No, I think that's about as much as it
No.
goes with those 2 teams.
I think we covered-
Oh, righty then. Here we go. Iowa versus Minnesota. We'll start with Aaron Clinker.
Okay, I appreciate that little intro.
Just made it up.
Well, okay, first of all, before I even pick who I want to win this game, Tanner Morgan looks like a middle-aged man who has like 4 kids already. And he's only
Been in
like
college for like 12 years.
dude is a senior. My dumbass thought he was a sophomore for whatever reason. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Minnesota. Iowa still can't score.
Interesting.
Hey, Petrus has a whopping 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions on the year.
Hey,
Dude's a dog.
3 of those
Perfectly
came from
balanced.
last week. 3 of
Hey.
those were last week.
Hey, perfectly balanced as all things should be.
All right, Andrew.
This is a game that's important because it decides who gets to get beat
important.
42-3 in the Big Ten championship game, and well, it helps decide if Iowa wins, they control their destiny in the West because Illinois is losing this week. Spoiler alert. And then if Minnesota wins, they don't control their destiny, but they're in a good spot. But I think Iowa's defense prevails and they slow down Ibrahim and hold him to under 100 yards, which nobody has done yet this year or last year or the year before that. So I'm going Iowa to win in a classic Big Ten football game, 13-12.
They missed an extra point.
No, Minnesota kicks 4 field goals.
Big Ten football, baby.
All right. Wait, Aaron, who'd you pick again? Did you pick your Minnesota?
Minnesota.
All right, Jeff.
All right, I kind of agree with Andrew here. Iowa is their defense is gonna basically put up a really big fight against Minnesota, but I have Minnesota barely edging it out, winning 27-24.
That's good because
It's gonna be last 2 minutes of the game.
Minnesota's favored by 2.5, so better take them at 2.5. You're gonna do that. I don't know because Iowa's offense I've seen pathetic, to say the least. Minnesota, much better offense. However, Iowa's defense is really, really good. But I think Iowa has the hot hand right now. So I'm going to take Iowa to cover at 2.5. and they're going to win outright because I think Iowa's playing better football than Minnesota at this point. And also, Michigan owns Minnesota in the Little Brown Jug. I don't think the Little Brown Jug has been in Minnesota for years. So, in Iowa, and we'll see them again on December 3rd.
Over under for this game is only 32.5.
I'll
Oh,
take
geez.
the under.
Yeah.
But my score puts me over, so I'll keep it.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to we're heading up to Ann Arbor, Illinois. Fighting
Okay.
Illini takes on the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan is giving a 90.7% FPI chance to win. Michigan's favored by 18. Michigan leads the all-time series 71-23-2. Michigan's on a 5-game win streak. What do we think? Let's start with Jeff, the Buckeye himself.
Okay. This goes against everything I stand for,
Hear that?
but I'm going to have to take Illinois to cover just because Illinois is weird.
That's fair.
But I don't think they went outright. And I am slamming that over. I don't
What's
know
the
why,
over?
but I'm just 41.
That's it?
41 is the over.
What?
I'm
Yeah, I would slam
definitely
that
taking that
too.
over. I can see both teams putting up 30.
I don't know about Illinois' offense, but
See,
They're gonna-
Illinois is just weird.
Illinois is Michigan, but without all the talent.
I don't understand how the over-under is 41. Michigan averages 41 a game.
Well, it's because like I
41
said,
nothing, Michigan. don't know.
Illinois is
hope.
Michigan without the talent. They run the ball well. They have a good secondary. They don't have the offensive line Michigan has, obviously, and they don't have the defensive line Michigan has. But by Big Ten West standards, they're pretty good. But they still lost to 2 of the 3 worst teams in the Big Ten East. So that says what you will. So
I might put my entire paycheck on Michigan at minus 800. Money line, dang.
I would just bet on the over.
I'll bet on all of them.
I'm definitely taking over.
How do you-
41. And Michigan's a 17-point favorite, so they're expecting it to be like what, 24-7? 31-7, I think they're like that's not a lot of points.
Me betting my entire paycheck on this. It ends up being 40. Michigan wins like 40-0. Me cries in the bathroom. So let's go to the Viking himself, Aaron Klinker.
Well, I had I'm not going to say pleasure, but I had the opportunity of watching Michigan in the Big House last week.
Opportunity of a lifetime.
Not what I would call
Yes,
it.
almost getting thrown up too.
Hey,
Throwing
we
up
should
off.
do that.
That didn't
Or yeah,
really-
thrown up on.
I mean, listen. The Big House, it's a very nice stadium. I won't lie. The Mr. Brightside thing going into the fourth quarter is pretty badass. I won't even
It's
like.
better at night games. I will say that.
It was
like,
dark.
it's really cool. I won't lie. I got a video of it, and it's pretty cool to watch. But I'm going Michigan. They'll probably end up covering. But yeah, Blake Corum's gonna run all over Illinois.
Hello.
All right. Now to the Michigan man himself, Andrew Schultz.
Well, we already know who I picked. And Butson, to correct you, Minnesota won the jug in 2014, but they've only won twice against Michigan since 1987. And then they won 3 times against us since 1978.
Jesus.
4
Dude.
times since 1968. And then we had a back and forth battle in the 60s and all that. But
that's when it actually mattered and they were good.
But that 4 times since 1968, Minnesota's held the Brown Jug for a year, and then they've lost it. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, Michigan, Illinois. What do you gotta say about this?
Michigan's gonna win. They're just Illinois is just copying Michigan's formula, but Illinois is not as talented. And I think JJ actually connects on a few deep balls in this game. I think they finally get it to click at the perfect time heading into the biggest week in college football.
Amen to that.
Yep, I'm taking Michigan. You could put the spread at 30 and I would still take it. I think Michigan's gonna win big. I think the past couple weeks, Michigan has held off. I mean, even last week against Nebraska, we had our fifth string running back in halfway through the third, and then brought
Right.
Corum in the red zone. So
Watson, they could have put me in that backfield and I would have broken off 80-yard run.
true. I mean, Nebraska's not good, but I think this is a game that they'll take seriously, and I think they're not going to show a lot, but they're going to show enough to where it's going to lead into going to the game of the decade at this point.
Michigan's longest run against Nebraska was only like 17 yards.
Yeah.
And we still ran for like 300.
Okay, I could have gotten a 20-yard run then.
All right. So moving on, I just want to point out that Heather Dinich says that Michigan's on upset alert. She needs to relax just a little bit. Because I don't know what she's looking at, but just putting that out there. All right, moving on. Utah heads to Oregon, face on the Ducks. We'll start with Andrew. Andrew?
Utah's kind of owned Oregon, or at least they have in the past year. They smacked Oregon twice last year, once in Utah and then once the Pac-12 championship. This game is important to both teams. If Oregon wins, they have a clear path into the Pac-12 championship and can play spoiler alert to pretty much whoever wins. If USC wins, they can play spoiler for USC. And Utah still has a path to get to the Pac-12 championship. And if chaos does happen, they could still make it into the playoffs, in all honesty. So I think it's a very important game. Oregon just lost their home win streak of 43 straight at home due to Washington, and going for it on 4th and 1 on your own 35 with a minute left, which made no sense. Up 1 point. But whatever. I think Utah wins. I think they come out and play. It's a 10:30 p.m. game. I think Utah wins, and I think they win big. I think Utah goes in there and they dominate Oregon like they did in the past.
Interesting. Aaron?
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Oregon. I just don't know. I still don't know how to feel about Utah. If they win, I would not be shocked, but if they also lost, I wouldn't be shocked. So nothing will surprise me at this point with these two teams. Unless they somehow tie, which that would not happen.
Nuclear explosion over the stadium, game ends.
Now that would
Game
shock
ends.
me and
No
also
wonder the
terrify
game
me.
would
They
end.
would have to stop college football for the rest of the year if that happened.
Well, considering the entire West Coast would probably have nuclear radiation, yeah.
Well, hey, listen. We know no Pac-12 games will be happening. Okay, that's all we know.
Thank God.
Does anyone really pay attention to him anyways?
No. But I will say this. So Button and I were playing college football revamped the past weekend, and every team I beat him with won this past weekend. I was Vanderbilt and beat him. Vanderbilt ended up winning. I was Arizona, beat him with Arizona. Arizona ended up winning. I was Washington, beat him with Washington. Washington ended up winning. All three upsets happened in college football.
He held me hostage and just kept beating me.
And he was Tennessee when I was Vanderbilt. He was Alabama when I was Arizona. And I forget who he was when I was Washington.
It's just matchups, okay?
I mean, me and Andrew had a pretty entertaining game.
Yeah, we did.
Wait, I was LSU, and who were you? I
Oh,
forgot.
I was Utah.
Ah, yes.
Oh dear
It
lord.
was,
All right.
it was still
No, I
close.
was Houston. I was Houston. That's right. I was Houston.
Oh God.
All right.
Only worse.
All right, you two, knock it off. All right, Jeff.
Utah for 2 reasons. One, this game is basically a pick 'em. I mean,
Sure.
this has got to be the most 50-50 split I've ever seen on everything on this freaking webpage.
Mhm.
And for 2, it would help my hot pick. So I'm going to go with Utah.
Clink.
All right. I love that he picked Utah, so I can give him a not so fast, my friend.
Clink, did you pick Utah?
You're going to go 0 for 3 this week.
I picked Oregon.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So Oregon's gonna win this game. Oregon's favored by only 1, and it actually FPI favors Utah. I'm gonna take Oregon at 1. They cover. I just don't think that Utah's gonna have the power. I think Bo Nix is gonna come back and look good against
Back and line it up.
in Eugene, probably wearing some killer uniforms.
Oh yeah.
No
Oregon.
way Oregon covers. They're no way they cover.
At 1?
That's too many.
Yeah, right.
0.5, maybe if it's like a 35.5 to 35.4 type of game.
I wish that was possible. Although that'd be way too.
Well, you know what? I'm just glad that I'm gonna be 1-0 in this game, so that's all that
Yeah,
matters.
okay.
All right, moving on to USC UCLA. What looked like what was gonna be the game of the week. Well, here we are. So
Thank you, Arizona.
let's start with Aaron for USC UCLA.
I'm taking USC. This is going to be a shootout. It is going to be, if anything, entertaining. But I got USC.
Gus Johnson and Joel Clyde doing this game.
Ooh, yeah, we know.
You don't know.
I did know.
I didn't know.
Podcast.
That is I didn't know that. That is very informative. Thank you, Budson.
Informative, like Booger McFarland.
I actually didn't know who was calling this game.
You see, since USC is going to UCLA, they are the road team. Back to you.
Are they though?
All right.
The over-under is 76. Oh my. Under that.
Nah,
I
take
don't think that's gonna happen, but
take the over.
I could have just jinxed it.
All right.
USC and Utah went 43-42. Just saying.
Well, that's that game. This is a different game.
It could happen.
All right. Jeff.
I still have this as the best game of the weekend. I don't care. There's no way this isn't. Little caveat, I don't like Lincoln Riley. I didn't like him at Oklahoma. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about him. I just don't.
I think he's standing on third base.
I mean, he gave us Kyler Murray, and look what happened.
Jalen Hurts too.
He needs to stop playing COD.
You said the over/under is what?
76.
Okay, my score total is actually 71, so I got close.
Just
I'm
for
taking UCLA with the upset at home, 37-34. Last second field goal.
All right.
I have more faith in Chip Kelly than Lincoln Riley.
So, Aaron, you took USC, you said?
I did. Probably
Okay.
gonna lose, but you know, it is what it is.
Head over to this guy, Andrew Schultz.
Well, I mean, we can't see where you're pointing, so.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I will say this: UCLA fans are probably the worst fans of a good Power 5 team in the entire country. They have probably the most gorgeous stadium in the history of sports, and they don't even pack that thing. It holds like 75,000, and I don't think they've hit even anywhere close to.
Well, it's 88.5.
Yeah, but they haven't even hit over like 60,000 this year, I'm pretty sure. Like they've come nowhere near capacity. And LA is just not a football town. Say what you will. They just aren't. Look at the Rams. Like
Say what you
they're-
need to say.
every game for them is a road game because their fans don't even show up. So um I think USC wins, and I think it's a shootout just because neither team is going to play defense. But I think USC wins 55-45.
USC, interesting. Well, you know what? Just for that, not so fast, my friend. UCLA is going to own the Rose Bowl. They're going to win outright. And the line is USC 2.5. UCLA covers. They win outright. I'm taking the money line at plus 105. I'm doing all this as a parlay, so I'm about to be a millionaire after this weekend.
Right.
Definitely, for sure.
So our next podcast is going to be on a boat.
Are we gonna have good equipment?
Yes.
Is it going to be on a boat because you're living in a van down by the river?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I expect.
Hopefully somewhere besides Ohio, it's 30 degrees.
Yeah, move to Butson.
If you're
move to
homeless, at least move to somewhere where it's warm year round.
California.
LA is a great homeless city. It is perfect weather all the time.
Yeah.
So maybe you can be like the one football fan there.
So let's round out our college football segment. So check back next week to see how we did in our picks. See how much ground I gained on these picks. And
Down 9, just saying. To me,
well, you know what?
Jesus, Butson, come on.
Jeff might catch you before this.
maybe on percentage, right? All right.
Easily, you're only shooting 44% right now.
Moving into the NFL. This is NFL's Best with Aaron Klinker.
Thank you, Butson. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NFL's Best. So this past week in the NFL was kind of interesting, kind of not. So we're gonna go just run through each of the games real quick, say a few words, move on. Falcons, Panthers. Yeah, no. This game does not deserve my attention. Jags, Chiefs. Jags hung in there with the Chiefs, but it's the Chiefs. Come on now. Seahawks, Bucks. Tom Brady is now 2-0 after his divorce. So shout out to Tom. And then Lions, Bears. The Lions won, but Justin Fields looked electric, for what he has on that team. I really, really hope he does not pan out on the Bears, but he pans out somewhere else because I don't want this dude dicing up my defense. Broncos, Titans. Broncos country is basically rode off a cliff at this point. And the Titans they're the Titans. They're back for the moment until they get spanked in the playoffs. Browns, Dolphins. Dolphins are a offensive juggernaut. Like you can double team Tyreek Hill, but then you got to cover Jalen Waddle, and you got to worry about the run game. You got to worry about everything, and it's just that offense is going to be a nightmare to guard. Browns. What else? I have no words. I have no words for Cleveland. It's like y'all might spank Cincinnati twice a year, but you're still going to go like 4-13. Texans, Giants. Giants keep on rolling. Saints, Steelers. Or Kenny Pickett gets his second win, I think. That's about it.
Something
Steelers
like that. No, I think it would be his third. I think it would be his third because he beat Tom Brady.
Andy Dalton still can't beat the Steelers.
You beat me to it. Oh, I can't wait to talk about this game. The Colts and Raiders. So I saw a lot of NFL memes about this. One meme was where we need to have a game show where we bring in a random ass person for each NFL team, like as a coach, to see if they can beat Josh McDaniels. So make it happen, Roger. I'm looking at you.
I could beat Josh McDaniels.
So could I.
I think 12-year-olds on Madden could come up with a better game plan than Josh.
Yeah,
McDaniels.
because Josh McDaniels gets his playbook from Madden. That's besides the
Rookie
point.
mode. Rookie
Well, I
mode.
say that, and I suck at Madden. So
Well, I mean, I do too, but I just want I do want to give a special shout out to Jeff Saturday.
Can confirm.
Um,
He does
Holy
suck.
crap! You got your first win, and you were just on ESPN a few weeks ago. So congrats, man. Cowboys, Packers.
Cowboys let us all down, Clink. They really did.
Cowboys. You had one job.
Oh,
all right.
14-0 too.
That's enough of that.
14-0.
Cardinals. Oh, hold on. Cardinals, Rams. This was the battle of the backup quarterbacks. Kyler Murray was out due to Modern Warfare 2. And yeah, Chargers, 49ers. Chargers lost to the Niners. Jimmy Garoppolo, with him and his handsomeness, carried the 49ers to victory. And then Eagles, Commanders. And lastly, the game of the year, at least for now, Vikings, Bills. My goodness. Oh, what a win. What a win. What a win. I was processing every single emotion within about 2 minutes during that overtime period. And for once in my life, the Vikings came out on the winning side of a very close game. So shout out Kevin O'Connell, shout out Justin Jefferson, shout out that whole team. Great win. And that wraps up the NFL's best. Back to you, Butts.
Something I look forward to every week is Aaron Clanker's NFL best.
Oh, you never know what you're gonna get. It's fun.
Like a box of chocolates.
All right, Forrest Gump.
All right, let's move into the mid-season NFL awards. Aaron, go ahead and lead us on this.
All right, boys. So we're over halfway through the season at this point. With it being 17 games, it's kind of confusing to tell when the half point is. I'd say probably week 9. So with that being said, who do we have as our mid-season award winners? Who do y'all got for MVP?
Tyreek Hill.
Okay, Jeff.
MVP, that's a quarterback award. A wide receiver's not winning that. Honestly, I think I'd still give it to Josh Allen, because even with a messed up elbow, he's still slinging it.
He's slinging it to Patrick Peterson, but we don't got to talk about that. Butson, what about you?
I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this, but
Tom Brady.
Jalen Hurts is a dog. Jalen Hurts is an absolute dog. I don't care. I mean, dude can run it. Dude can pass it. He can run it better than Allen, Mahomes, Burrow. He can pass it better. And he doesn't even have as good as wide receivers. I mean, dude's a dog. I could see him winning the MVP this year. 100%.
Can't run it better than Justin Fields, though.
Justin Fields. Oh my God.
All right. He might win MVP. Who the hell knows?
Not this year. Not yet. Give it time.
If the Bears are good. No, I think Jacoby Brissett, dog.
I think Deshaun Watson's going to win Comeback Player of the Year.
Only playing 5 games.
Dude's a dog. I can't say that. So anyways, my MVP award or pick, whatever you want to call it, the bias in me wants to say Justin Jefferson, but he has not been as consistent as the next person I'm about to name, which you already know. It's Tyreek Hill. And I know this award is a quarterback award. I can't pronounce for some reason, but we've seen guys win the award who don't play QB in the past. Adrian Peterson. I'm drawing a blank on the other
Henry
guys.
should have won it 2 years ago. Cooper Kupp should have won it last year.
Like the NFL could stop.
Rodgers.
You shut your mouth. Someone mute
The
him.
guy who can't even beat the 2-6 Detroit Lions.
I mean, the guy who's
No. The 1-6 Detroit
the
Lions.
guy whose daddy is Kirk Cousins.
And Dan Campbell.
All right. So, moving on. Who do we think is winning Offensive Player of the Year? Just everyone go around and make your picks. So we'll start with Butson, and then we'll go that way.
Offensive player of the year?
Yeah.
Probably Jeff, honestly.
Yeah. What?
Not J Jeff. J
Oh,
Jetta.
that is okay. Okay.
I would probably give it to him.
Jeff, what do we think?
It's either going to be Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson.
Okay. Andrew?
Because I picked Tyreek Hill to win MVP, I'm going Saquon Barkley for Offensive Player of the Year.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
I can see it.
He's
Me
leading
per-
the league in rushing yards.
By a whopping 8 yards.
Hey, that's
he-
still
he-
leading.
anyways,
Also, well, sorry, before I go on, Nick Chubb also has a chance. Dude is the leader in touchdowns too.
also that entire Browns team.
And by yards per game, there's only 3 running backs that average 100 yards per game, and that's Chubb, Henry, and Barkley. So they also might have a opportunity. Depends on how. I honestly think the Giants' success is due to Saquon for sure.
Well, to wrap up Offensive Player of the Year pick, I'd have to say Saquon or Jay Jettas, just because I think Tyreek Hill is going to win MVP.
Or should we just give it to the Bengals offensive line?
Absolutely not.
No. Speaking of allowing defensive players in, who do we have for Defensive Player of the Year?
Micah Parsons, easy.
Micah. Yeah.
Micah.
Absolutely.
Andrew?
This might be a little out there.
Little.
Aiden?
Matthew Judon for the
Oh.
New England Patriots. He has 13 and a half sacks.
11.
Or 11 and a half.
You could also make an argument for Zadarius Smith. I'm not trying to be biased here. I'm just
He's also played really well.
yes.
But I
Okay,
think Judon is being slept on
Okay.
big time.
Gardner Johnson, though?
No.
No.
All right. So who do we
DJ
think?
Mosley?
Okay.
I think you
Hold
could also
on.
make a case for Sauce actually winning Defensive Player of the Year as well.
Oh. Possibly.
Harrison
Speaking,
Smith?
speaking of Sauce, so since we're kind of short on time here, who do we got winning Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think Damian Pierce could make an argument. Doesn't necessarily means he could win it. And then what was the other one? Defensive?
Yeah.
Sauce. I think Sauce will win that award more than likely. But I think Damian Pierce could be the Offensive Rookie of the Year. There's obviously others, but I think he might be mine as of right now.
Jeff, what we thinking?
Offense is either going to be Damian Pierce or Chris Olave.
I like that.
Defense, I don't think there's another answer besides Sauce.
Okay. Well, I got Damian Pierce as of right now, unless Kenneth Walker just goes on an absolute tear for the next 6 or 7 games. And then I got Sauce for Defensive Player of the Year, because that's just without question at this point. Andrew?
Offensive Rookie of the Year, I am going to go. I'm gonna just be different for these next 2 picks, just because you all kind of picked the same. I'm gonna go Charles Cross for Offensive Rookie of the Year, the tackle for the Seattle Seahawks. Dude's playing out of his mind, and an offensive lineman never wins it. So I'm just gonna pick him because he's playing really well this year.
Oh.
And just to be different on defense as well, I'm also picking another Seattle Seahawks player and going Tariq Woolen, who is leading. I believe he's leading the league in interceptions.
No, he's second behind Gardner Johnson, but he's close.
Oh, the only reason I didn't pick him is because the NFL is going to go with the bigger name, unfortunately.
And because he plays in New York. But
Yeah.
again, like
I like
Desmond
this.
Howard's Final
Howard
Four
made that.
prediction at the beginning of the year, I'm going different.
That's fine.
Great.
All right, we'll kind of just mix these next 2 in. So who do we got for Comeback Player of the Year and Coach of the Year? We'll start with Andrew.
Coach of the Year, I'm going with Brian Dable from the New York
Okay.
Giants.
Okay.
Dude has turned that program around, or not that program, but that team around so much more quickly than I thought. I thought the Giants were going to be bottom 3 of the league this year, and they have the 3rd best record in football right now, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, they're about to lose this week to Detroit, but that's whatever.
Okay.
And then what was the other award?
Comeback player of the year.
Give me Geno Smith. He's not coming back from an injury, but I mean,
Yeah, right and back.
I'm picking a lot of Seattle players. I just realized that, but Seattle's also playing really well. So,
All right.
and I also picked Saquon to win Offensive Player of the Year. So,
Jeff.
Give me Saquon for comeback player of the year. Coach of the year, only because I don't think an interim coach can win it, unfortunately for Jeff Saturday. Give me Dayball.
Okay.
But if an
Butson?
interim coach could wear it, I'd definitely go Saturday.
Didn't mean to cut you off there, Jeff. Butson.
My comeback was Saquon coming off of injuries. I think that's that's pretty good. And Geno Smith also, I agree. I think both of them will lead that. From now on, I always compare it to Alex Smith. And I think I don't think really Geno had injuries, but I just think it's good to have him in there. I'll tell you who won't be winning Coach of the Year, and that is Nathaniel Hackett. That's for dang sure. He is not winning anything. Now,
right.
Since this is mid-season award,
you got like 10 seconds.
You got 10 seconds. My pick is Dayball and Saquon.
All righty. So for the break, we were doing our mid-season awards. And now we're just going to head and do our predictions real quick. And let's do it. So we'll start with a Thursday night game, Titans and Packers. Everyone just go around and say your pick for this game. Aaron, first.
I'm going to go with the Titans, but would not shock me if Green Bay won.
Aaron, can you give me a go Pack go?
Blow Pack blow. You will never get those words out of me. Never.
Jeff?
Give me the Titans.
Tighten up.
Andy?
All you need to know about Wisconsinites is that they never took the Upper Peninsula from Michigan, so I'm going Tennessee.
Interesting. 1 second here while I'm pulling it up. I chose Green Bay to win this game. They're gonna win. They're gonna win this game easily. All right, moving on. 2. Jets head to the Patriots. Jeff.
Give me the Jets with the revenge game.
Aaron.
Give me the Jets. I want to see that dog come out of Zach Wilson.
Andrew.
I'm going New England because New England's at home and Belichick just prepares differently. So.
Yep, give me New England as well. All right, Lions head to New York. Andrew?
Detroit's rolling. We're going to win 3 in a row. Jared Goofball is going to make some good plays.
All right, Jeff?
The Lions are still the same old Lions. Give me the Giants.
I don't disagree with you.
Aaron?
I got to go with the Giants. They're
Give me Detroit. Give me Detroit.
Butson's dying on his.
Butson, you're 0-3 this week already. They haven't even started.
Yeah, right. You really think the Titans have a chance against Green Bay coming off a win?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Packers play lately?
Yeah, I just saw how they played against the Cowboys. So it's either the Packers are good enough to beat the Cowboys, the Cowboys just suck.
You can never trust the Cowboys.
That's true. That's true. All right. Bengals head to Pittsburgh. Aaron?
Give me the Bengals, unfortunately. I still don't trust the Steelers in their offense.
Andrew?
Give me Pittsburgh. They're better than week 1. And TJ Watt is back. So
Jeff?
Who day, baby? Give me the Bengals.
The Steelers secondary is also banged up, so we might get a Joe Burrow 400 plus yards again.
That's
Jamar
why.
Chase still out.
That's all. Wait,
Chase
who?
is still on IR, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah, Chase is out.
Yep. Bengals are losing.
So I love my Cincinnati, Ohio. But
No, you don't.
before the season, I picked the Steelers to win. I'm gonna stick with it because it's in Pittsburgh. It's gonna be a hostile environment. Give me Pittsburgh to win this game. It pains me to say it. It really I think my heart's gonna come out. But did everyone pick that game? I think everyone did.
Yeah.
Bears head to Atlanta. Let's start with Jeff.
Bears, Atlanta. Where's that game at?
In Atlanta.
Oh, I'm talking about on my list. No. Justin Fields is going to keep rolling. Give me the Bears.
Justin Fields. All right, Andrew.
Give me Atlanta for takeoff.
Aaron.
Give me the Bears. Justin Fields is gonna want to get revenge on the whole state of Georgia.
Homecoming game for him.
Exactly. Yeah,
Touche.
he's gonna show out.
Touche. Give me Atlanta. I don't think the Bears are that good. I think Atlanta is actually surprisingly better than I thought they would be. So give me Atlanta to win this game. All
That's
right.
an 0-5.
Free pick. Free win.
The exact same teams I have picked.
I literally go based off
Other
of
than Green Bay.
I go based off of what I did in the preseason. So I'm just giving you what I picked in the preseason. Cleveland has the Buffalo in 38 inches of snow.
Possibly.
38 feet of snow.
Aaron, what do you think?
I think Nick Chubb might have to get his feet amputated after this game from running so much. Give me the Bills.
Andrew?
Massage Watson isn't back yet, so give me Buffalo.
Deshaun Watson.
And Jeff.
Give me Buffalo plus 35.
I don't think they're gonna win by that much. But
Give me Buffalo. Give me Buffalo on this game. All right. Eagles head to Indianapolis. Andrew.
Give me Indianapolis. Saturday's got the boys rolling.
All right, Aaron.
Yeah, that's right. I predicted it. You said the Eagles are frauds. Let's see it, Clink. You gonna die on that hill?
Okay, you know what? I will die on that hill. Give me Jeff Saturday and the boys.
Yeah, there you go. Peer pressure.
No, I need to stand by my hot take. It's
Also,
not my
you left one of your hard Mountain Dews here, by the way. The watermelon one.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
like that one. I don't like that one.
Jeff.
Give me screw it. Give me the Colts because I cannot stand Philadelphia fans.
Amen to that.
Not so fast, my friends. Not so fast. Matt Ryan is still playing in this game.
Matt Ryan has a longer rush than more people you'd be surprised by.
All right.
How's your hair?
Eagles are gonna win. Colts cover, but Eagles win. All right. Moving on to the Rams head to New Orleans. We'll start with Jeff.
This one actually took me a minute to pick. I think I'm going to take the Saints just because they're at home. And the only way the Rams have a chance is if Matt Stafford is not playing. Then
Andrew?
Cooper Kupp's out too.
That's fair. Yeah.
So-
Cooper, yeah.
Stafford got his ring last year, so now I want the Rams to help the Detroit Lions get a higher draft pick. So the Saints. Okay, the Rams are picking lower than Detroit right now. So just saying. With all that money and all that talent, they're still picking 7, and it's not even their pick.
They can get 2 top 10s.
Aaron.
Oh, unfortunately, I have to go with the Saints because the Rams are just I don't know what. They're not good. That's all I know.
Not so fast, my friend. Los Angeles wins this in New Orleans.
Wow, Button, you really are going to take firm control of last place.
You don't know.
So, hey, Andrew, looks like Butson's going to be picking the top 10.
He's picking first overall.
Nah, he traded his pick to Philly.
You're dang right I did. All right. Carolina heads to Baltimore. Oh dear God. We'll start with Andrew.
Well, name every person in Ohio fears Button. You know what I'm about to say, right?
Oh, Ja, Bo.
It's his debut game. Baltimore's not losing. Baltimore might sack Baker Mayfield 25 times this game.
Aaron, are you okay?
I'm so tired of hearing that.
Jeff.
Give me the Ravens.
Good.
I have nothing to add to that. Just the Ravens.
Good. Aaron.
Give me the Ravens.
Aaron?
Panthers pass.
Aaron, give me an Ojabo.
You know, the words I want to say, I can't on the internet.
Normally, you're asking Clink for blowjobs.
Jesus Christ. And there goes the family friendly podcast.
I'm trying.
All right. Baltimore wins this game easily. All right. The Commanders head to Houston. We'll start with Jeff.
Give me the Commanders. I think they keep it rolling, and I think Heineke stays as starting quarterback.
He is
I
the
hope so.
starter
He
this
was
week.
so much fun
He was
to watch.
already
Is he?
named the starter.
Was he already named the starter? Okay, I didn't see that.
Good. Ron Rivera, good choice. Aaron.
Give me the commies.
Andrew.
This is a game the Houston Texans are absolutely going to come out there and lose.
And the tanks keep rolling.
Heineke time, baby.
Shout out to Houston.
All right. Give me Heineke. Give
And he
me
couldn't beat Minnesota though, so
give me the
Couldn't beat
boys
Detroit either, but that was Carson Wentz. So
from Washington.
maybe Heineke can beat Detroit. We just don't know yet.
he'll never.
Just as an update, Texas is absolutely dominating Gonzaga right now.
Who cares? It's not March.
Horns down.
It's basketball.
Not March.
Horns down.
I don't care. They're rolling.
Horns down. Horns
The
down.
Las Vegas Raiders head to Denver. What we thought was going to be a packed division ended up being the worst division in college in the NFL.
No, it's kind of just more of the same. Chargers and Chiefs up there, and Raiders and Broncos down.
Chiefs, everybody else.
We'll start with Aaron on this one.
This is gonna be the biggest clown show of the week.
Something.
Whichever team wins, the whole country loses because they have to watch this game on national TV.
On national TV?
Probably.
It's on Fox.
405.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, give me the Broncos. Compared to Josh McDaniels, Nathaniel Hackett is not that bad a coach, and that isn't saying much. I know, but
So you took the Raiders? Denver?
yeah, it's Broncos country. Let's ride.
Andrew?
Give me the Raiders. Broncos country is dying, and Russell Wilson might be the first blind NFL quarterback.
So inspirational.
Jeff?
Give me the Broncos just because they are at home, and if the over/under for this game is 10.5, I'm taking the under.
Well, you know what they say, Broncos country. Let's ride. So give me
The
the over
Raiders win 45-10.
the over under is 41.5. How I have no idea.
That's like that Iowa Minnesota game right there.
I guess.
Russell Wilson and Derek Carr are playing this game, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Why is the over that high?
I have no idea.
I mean, the defenses are not. Actually, Denver's defense is pretty good. So I
I say
don't.
Denver's defense is amazing.
Yeah, Denver's defense. This could be.
Well,
I
because
don't know.
figure, it's an NFL game, so 17-24, that's 41.
I mean, 24-25 is very much in the realm of possibility.
I could
No.
also see it being a 9-2 type of game or a 5-2 type of game.
Yeah, give me a baseball score. Why not?
This could be something.
I'm going 7-3. Jesus.
All right, the boys head to Minnesota. Take on the Vikings, the 8-1 Vikings, I shall add. We'll leave the Viking fan last. Jeff,
Cowboys couldn't beat a horrible Packers team. Give me the Vikings.
Andrew.
Skull, baby.
Aaron?
Minnesota's my second team this year, even though they're a divisional rival.
I gotta be honest. This could easily listen. You guys know how I am as a Vikings fan, so I'm gonna pick the Vikings, but we're gonna somehow find a way to fuck it up.
Dallas is favored, just to put that in perspective. So you know what?
Well, Kirk Thuggins might have something to say about that.
You know what? I like them boys out. I like them Vegas betters. Give me America's team. Give me the boys.
Is this the 1990s?
No, the Vikings are America's team. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, guess what? We're back.
Yeah, to losing in the playoffs.
Back to the bottom 10.
Back to second place in your division.
Give me the boys.
All
All right.
You got the boys.
All right. Kansas City heads to the Chargers on NBC Sunday Night Football. Start with Andrew.
Brian Robinson got shot twice, and Keenan Allen still isn't back on the field.
He's questionable at the moment.
Give me Kansas City.
He hurts, okay? Aaron?
Well, I have a little hamstring bruise. Ooh, I can't play. Ooh, toughen up. You play football.
All right. Give me the Chiefs.
What are they the capital of the world of? No, I'm just kidding. Don't say that.
I might get kicked off the podcast for saying that.
Jeff.
Watson, don't even go there.
uh,
Give me the Chiefs. Chargers just have too many injuries.
let's see here. Give me the Bolts.
You would.
Are you high?
Man, you really love last place, don't you?
I have you sitting at 4-9 right now, Butson.
Listen. Butson's more of a bottom, okay?
Oh my god. Come on. Los Angeles has a good defense. It's
You know they're missing half their defense, right?
It's an in-division rival. It's
Kansas City owns
Refs are going to be in the Chiefs' favor. Let's be real.
on national TV.
It's in LA. That's a home game for Kansas City.
No,
Well, Kansas City's going to have an extra fan,
Quiet.
aka the refs. So
yeah, something. All right. And for our last pick of the week, Andrew, 49ers head to Arizona on a non-COD week, right?
Oh no, season 1 just came out.
Yeah, the battle actually just
right now?
dropped. So like, and then there's like a whole new progression system and all that. It's
Right.
actually pretty cool, but so
Hopping
Kyler's
on there.
really pretty heavily invested in that. And Jimmy G is that one group member of the project who does nothing yet still somehow gets an A.
because everyone loves him.
And then he still gets loved by the cheerleaders in Golden State. So give me San Fran by a lot because Cliff Kingsbury sucks as a head coach and should have never gotten an extension.
Aaron?
Well, I'm going with the 49ers.
Ooh.
And Jimmy G is going to sleep with Cliff Kingsbury wife after this game.
Jeff?
Is that a hot take?
It's going to happen. I'm calling it. That man has.
Version of the coaches. Yeah, we did.
Listen. Jimmy G walked so Zach Wilson can run. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Zach Wilson's got to play a bit better.
You know what I mean.
All right. Jeff, what do you
All right. Since the release of Modern Warfare 2, the Cardinals have only won one game, and Kyler Murray wasn't even playing because he was playing Call of Duty. And I can confirm he is just as bad at Call of Duty as he is football. Give me the 49ers.
What's his KD ratio?
It's probably like a 0.7. Who the hell knows?
I mean, just like their win-loss record.
Probably.
Give me six.
Yeah, Kelly Kingsbury. That's who Jimmy G is sleeping with after today. Good old Kelly Kingsbury.
He looks better as a woman than he does as a coach.
Give me San
Uh,
Francisco. They're favored by 8 in Arizona. 49ers are going to win this game. And there's no way it happened. There's no way they don't.
Wow.
All right.
The bigger deficit, so that's cool.
Biggest games of the week. Jacksonville takes on bye week.
Hey, Alabama takes on Austin Peay. That's my game of the year right there.
It's something, all right. All righty. Well, this concludes our episode of TC Sports. Like, subscribe. We're bringing in guests. Next week is rivalry week in college football. We will break down every single rivalry that is happening that week. We'll make our picks. It's going to be a toxic week next week when the game is in Columbus. Please check back. My name is Jacob Butzine alongside Aaron Klinker and Andrew Schultz, along with our guest for the day, Jeff Kemp, and I'll play you out of here.
Oh, now you put the hat on.
Oh, he's talking shit now. I got to put it on.
Remember, Tom Brady is
Remember that.